Hey guys, this is Milo here with another Storyboard Pro tutorial tip. Um, this time I'm going to show you how to use the camera in Storyboard Pro. A lot of people don't know how to use it. A lot of people use it, they use it poorly. But it's pretty easy to use. So I'm going to show you quickly how to use this tool. So I'm going to start with this scene.
Here we go! I can feel it!
And
Here
so
we go!
he's hitting the anvil.
I can feel it!
The anvil falls. What I want to do is have the camera be the anvil so that the anvil starts coming down, and as it comes down towards the this whatever the hell that thing is trampoline, um, he jumps away. So the way I do that is I need a camera on my scene. Now the way that you do this is pretty simple. If you look on the left hand side of your toolbar, you can see there is a camera icon there. See, look, it even previews and says camera. Thank you, Toon Boom. So once I select that, if I go over and look for my properties, you'll see I have choices here. If you do not see your properties, you can go up to Windows and you can go to Tool Properties and select it, and it will invoke. So like, say I'm on this view, whatever, it doesn't matter what view it is, but say I'm on this view and I want to see my tool properties. Where are my tool properties? I don't know where they are. You click on it and look, they'll come up. All right, so now I want to put a camera move on this scene. Let's turn the mask off. So I've got a camera move, or I've got the scene here. I'm gonna, let's see. Okay, so I want, on this frame, I want it to start coming down. Now there's three choices. Well, there's really four, but there's three choices for cameras, for the camera tool. All of these are going to create keyframes here. If I click this one on the left hand side, you'll see that it says add keyframe at beginning of current panel, and that's exactly what it'll do. It will create a keyframe, see, down at the bottom. Let's resize that and get rid of it, and I can put one. If I hit the second one, I can put it in the wherever the playhead is. So see, it puts it directly on the playhead area. If I want it to start at the beginning, I hit the left one. If I want it to start on that playhead frame, I hit that one. If I want it to start at the end, or I want one at the end of the panel, that's where I'll hit this last one here. Add keyframe at end of current panel. So what I think I want is I want it to go for a couple of frames and start a keyframe, and then I want it to go to the end here, probably the end of the panel. So now I've got two keyframes here, and you'll notice that my camera has changed colors. Let's reset it again. You'll notice by default, if I select this camera tool, my camera area here, which is the viewable area, that's what the camera sees, that area is black. If I start using these camera keyframes, it will change color. So watch, I'm going to click one, and you'll see it turns blue. Now, if I hit this other one, put a keyframe at the end of this panel, you'll see that one turns red. If I decide to put one at the beginning, you'll see it turns green. So what I've got now is this green box represents the first frame. This blue box represents the keyframe in the middle wherever I placed it, and the keyframe at the end is represented by red. Well, I actually don't care about the one at the beginning because I don't want it there. So what I'm going to do is I have my keyframe here. This is my beginning keyframe. This is my end keyframe. I want it to truck in. So now that I'm going to select the red box. I can either do that by hitting these little the little squares here, or I can select the keyframe itself. So I'm going to truck in on the scene, and it's going to go to onto the trampoline. I think maybe I'll center this a little bit. So you can move the camera by centering, or by selecting this centered dot here, and I can move it wherever I want it to be. And see, I can move this one as well. You can also rotate if you want by selecting the area. You'll see how if I select this box and I put my cursor over near it, you'll see that the cursor changes to a rotation icon, and I can rotate. So there we go. So now it starts going, but it's not really what I want. What I want is it to zoom in. I'm not sure I want it to rotate. Alright, so now let's see, how many frames is this? 8 frames. Oh, see how when I go to slide inward, my keyframe moves along with me? What if you don't want it to do that? What if you say, you know what, Storyboard Pro, dude, cut it out, stop that. Well, they actually heard you and you didn't even realize it, and they can do that. They've set it up so it does work, but Toon Boom's not very good at showing you where things are. They tend to hide stuff. There's so many areas to look at things, and their interface is not the greatest. But they did put that in there, and the way that you do that is, let's say I want to move this in a little bit. I go to Camera, Keyframe Sync Mode, and None. And then now, as I slide this panel, the camera does not slide with it. Notice that? Alright, so now, there we go. Now I've got... So now, let's turn this on.
I can feel it.
Alright, there we go. So now I really want it to go to the very end, though, I think. So, yeah. Should be even faster, don't you think? Oh, I see. It looks like... You know what? Now I'm going to actually turn this keyframe sync mode back on, because I want it to be governed by them all. Alright, so now. Alright, now another thing that you can do with this, with the camera tool, which is kind of cool, is let's say I want to ease into this. So I don't want the camera to just statically move in and out. I want it to start slowly, and I want it to finish faster. So if you notice underneath my tool properties and my where you put the keyframes, where you create keyframes, I guess I should say. Sorry, you know, it's day after Christmas. So I'm going to ease in by selecting this ease in tool, and I'm going to slide it a little bit by hitting these arrows, and I'm going to have it slide 8 frames. Now let's see what happens. See how it moves faster? It slows out and then gets faster. Whoosh. That actually has a lot more feel to it. I think that works pretty well, actually. So, anyway, that's the basics of how you use the camera tool. Oh, and let's say that I did all this and I said, yeah, I really don't like it. There is a 4th icon here that will let you reset the camera, and you can start over again. Now, alternately, you can also just select these. Sure. You can also just select the keyframes and hit the delete key, and it will delete them as well. So please subscribe, and hopefully you'll tune in for more tutorials, because there will be more. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.